What's up?
What happened to Hey-O?
Hey-oh.
Yeah, we missed that. We missed that last week. I think somebody had to mimic it.
Am I that routine in what I say and do? Oh, man.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
What's going on, man? Look at you two sexy fellas in your polos. Dang.
Oh,
Collared shirts, man. I mean,
Giving a sign for next week or something.
I know. What do you got going on there, Olee? What is that, Olee? You got flowers? What's on that shirt?
Donut.
What is that?
Donuts.
Ooh,
Donuts.
That's a dad shirt right there.
That is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bill, what do you got? What's yours?
Ooh, I got garden utensils, and my youngest can't say lawnmower, so I got mono mowers here. So
Nice.
yeah.
I
forget what it's
should have got the
called.
taco. Maybe I should have went and got the taco one then.
I know tacos and
Well,
turf.
you could do a throwback, Olee, and take your shirt off mid-show.
Yeah.
And then put the other one on. I mean, we
Come
could do
back
that
with
for old
tacos
time's
and
sakes.
I wish I still had that picture.
we may have to reenact that.
I'm
Man.
looking.
Wonder if
Oh,
how many of
good
the original viewers remember that episode when Olee took his shirt off mid-show.
I do have this one.
That
Oh
long.
god, that's just a weird one.
That's how long
Oh,
it is.
man.
Right there. That long.
That face. Oh my god. Put that down. Oh,
I have a
geez,
few on
embarrassing.
file here.
Zach is dangerous.
Yeah.
All right, who we got in the
Good.
live chat tonight, you guys? I think it's popping off already. We don't have Brian here to rattle everyone off expertly like you can do, but we got looks like first up, Furt in the dirt. Hey, brother. Grass Geek, Papa Mo's,
Trying to
Lucky
get some
Green,
further dirt soon.
Matthew Carmack. What's up, brother? Lawn Radians. What's up, my man? Long time no see. Drunk Lawn Guy, of course. Steel Cut. All right. PJ's here. This is awesome. What's up, everybody?
Matthew Cohen, Paul Kubista, Lawn Sauce, Spirited Lawn Guy, Nick's Home Turf Consulting. Man, we got some OGs in the house too.
We do.
We got Drunk Lawn Guy, Papa Mo's Low. Come on now.
I think everybody's excited to talk about the fall. What
Yeah.
are we talking about tonight, guys?
You know, I had a really good
Okay.
time last episode, actually.
Lucky Green.
Put it. That was a good one.
Is that because I wasn't here?
No,
Man, I'm
actually,
telling you-
dude, if you
I'm
were
telling
here,
you-
I would have lost it.
I seem to
would've-
be off on the best episodes every time,
I-
you know.
He
I mean-
would have
Oh, yeah, you were off
giggled
too.
the entire
I was
show.
off. I missed the
Oh.
original Pro Pete, Simple Lawn.
It
Oh,
was
man.
the chat was off the hook last week. So yeah, you guys cracked me up. I was bummed because the live chat did not show up on the episode when all of them do. Like, I don't know why this one didn't show up, but like, yeah, there were some gems in that chat last week.
Yeah, I heard everyone, even after the show, I seen all kinds of stuff about like your hose this, your hose that. I was just like, man, like Olee said, I would have just been giggling the whole time. So
Innuendos off the charts.
There was a ton of head talk.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Hose and head. That's a good show right there. That's
it
a
was good.
show
Now,
in
yeah,
and of
learned a
itself.
lot too, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what we
I'll
do.
be honest, I haven't actually gone and watched that one yet. It's on my to-do list. I need to listen to it or pull up the YouTube on my drive to work. But the one question I really wanted to ask on the show was the bigger hose, the more pressure, right? That's what Olee was saying before. If you have like a larger diameter
Or
hose,
friction-
Yeah, you want
friction
a girthy one, but the
yeah.
longer it is, you lose some pressure though.
That's what I was gonna say. My big long hose, the sprinkler at the front just kind of, and I think it's like 100-foot hose, but I need that to get to the front. It's like, I was like, what the hell is, anyway, that's a whole nother discussion, you guys. Hey, welcome to Keep Off the Grass, you guys. Let's all grab a glass and keep off the grass.
Been a while since I've done this one for you guys.
I'm drinking a whiskey seltzer
Ooh, interesting.
from
Okay.
Traverse City, Michigan.
Nice.
Some nights it just hits the spot. You just take that first drink. So, bro.
Who is that?
He's like, I want some.
He heard the bush. He came running. Yeah, what are you doing?
What was that? Olee, who did you have there, man? Who was that? I think I've seen some stories and
Good night.
such of this little stinker. Who's this guy?
Roscoe.
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 He's rowdy right now. Golly, he's rowdy. He's about to get thumped in the noggin if he don't quit. Quit.
Oh man.
He's wide open.
How old is he?
Hey. Huh?
How old is he?
He is 9 weeks old.
Quit.
9 weeks.
Little guy.
Yeah, he's a little boy. He got needle teeth.
Is it a wiener dog? Is that what it is?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Dotson.
Okay.
He's blue and tan.
The little guy won't make it too far in your yard.
It's funny watching him because he has to hop just entirely.
Yeah.
So you gonna real mow? You starting to real mow?
No.
If only doesn't cut his grass, that dog gonna
Yeah.
keep his nose.
Roscoe, the fescue dog. PJ,
It's funny watching him jump over everything.
Cut it down to 3 inches. You still can't see his legs in the grass.
So I don't know about you guys, but my summer's been crazy hot. Have you guys had a rough summer? Are you guys looking forward to the fall? Do you guys have who's got some plans? What do you guys, Zach or Nate, what are you guys working on, or what are you guys brewing for the fall?
Go for it, Nate.
I'm very happy and proud to announce that my swing set has been removed from the backyard.
Oh,
So-
Nice.
kids outgrow it or what? What's up with that?
Combination. So it came with the house. I wasn't too thrilled about it in the first place, and yeah, it's kind of one of those things where they don't play on it very much. It was kind of it wasn't like unsafe, but it had some sway to it a
Getting
little
old
bit.
there.
Yeah. And honestly, and we've been talking about it and kind of decided that this was gonna be the last year for it. So got rid of that sucker. And then honestly, the backyard looks way bigger, and we were already out there playing catch and all that because it just opens it up, because that was right in the middle. So you kind of had a section here and a section here. But I mean, we've already been out there kicking the ball around, playing catch. I think it's gonna be better. It's actually gonna probably put us out on the lawn more doing stuff. But
So is it all
obviously,
beat up? Is it all beat up? And does it look rough
how's
there?
the turf? How's the turf
Or-
there?
we talking about the grass or what do you mean?
Yeah. Is it all
Yes.
beat up?
So so the
Good
area,
dog.
so obviously at the base of the swings, where the slide was, where they went up on the monkey bars, it was all just worn down, compacted. And then underneath of it, there was a kind of an area that basically was full of weeds, and a lot of people put sand in that area under the clubhouse, but it was full of weeds, no grass. So gonna work on that and get that back going. Kind of do the normal process, which we'll talk about here, but my goal is to get that back so you can't ever tell it was there.
Nice, man. That'll be a fun
Really
project.
cool.
You should
Yeah.
document some, I want to
We'll
see
do
some of the progress, man. That'd be sweet to see kind of what you're working on and what you're doing.
Yeah. So the first thing I did, like I said, I don't know whether I do things the right way or someone's like, what the hell are you doing? Type thing. But, I don't have, so right now, Bill, you're probably going to talk about it as well, but my summer has just been ridiculously dry. I've been running my sprinklers, but at the same time, I can't keep up. We actually just got rain Monday. We got 0.6 of an inch. That's the first measurable rain we've had since the beginning of July. So, we're talking 5-6 weeks before even anything that's 0.01. It's ridiculous. I think before that was beginning of June. So we're talking literally 2 months with less. I think they said since Memorial Day, it was 2 inches of rain, and north of here's had rain, south of here's had rain, but it just seems like it just misses us every single time. So been really, really dry. But anyways, so what I did is I just took my shovel after I got everything out of there, and I just kind of put it in, just kind of popped around the area and got some air rolling through there. And I knew it was going to rain. So I was like, well, I want that rain to get in there and, start getting into some of those areas. So I kind of did that around the swing set area. And then I actually went, my lot line is extremely dry because my sprinklers, it seems, where the middle of my area is green as hell. It looks really, really good. But when I start getting all around the edges of my property, that's where it's really, really dry because my sprinklers just don't hit as much on the lot line. So I actually went and I took a 1/2 inch bit or a 1 inch bit, put it on my drill, and I just walked my lot line, and I just drilled every 3 or 4 steps. I just drilled down in, took a few steps, drilled down in, and just walked around and did that the other night.
How
before
far?
the rain.
how far do you think you went and how long did it take you? Because I've seen videos of people doing that. I'm always like, the shoes with the spikes or people drilling hole. I mean, I had the shoes with the spikes. Like, there's no way I'm walking my yard meaningfully unless you have like a very small, tight little. Anyway, how long did it take you to
How
do
deep
that?
did you go? How deep did you
that
go?
too. How
Is
deep?
what he
The
wants to know.
entire drill bit. I mean, we're talking probably,
Damn.
I don't know, that's got to be what, 10 inches, you know?
All the way down to the base. All right, cool.
Didn't you have a thing on the tape measure on how to read?
So, no, I mean, it's
You
probably,
measure
Interested with numbers.
it's probably at least a 6-inch drill bit. And like I said, I went all the
10
way
went
down.
to 6.
I went all the way.
Alright.
I went
10
balls
went to
deep with the drill. I
How's
basically
your
I did
back
it till
today?
I did it
You
till the
feeling all
battery.
right? All that
No, it's-
bending over and shit.
It wasn't bad, but I can tell you, like it was dry. I mean, like to the point where I had to like really get after it. And you pulled out and you can see around the drill bit. I mean, it's just freaking dry as can be. It was bad.
Maybe you
But
could get one of those radio flyer wagons and you could kind of lay on it and then you can
Just-
drill and your
just
kids
paddle.
can pull you. All right, pull.
Well-
Maybe you could do that or something.
So what I did was like I have my stripes. So I have right now I'm running vertical stripes, and then I have a diagonal. So I got the checkers going. So every little diamond. I just put one in every diamond is what I
There
did,
you
like
go.
just around the edge of the property. So I mean,
Sweet.
it was one of those things where I mean, if the
That's
neighbors drove
something.
by, if that was a
you get a
class,
couple looks. You get a
that was a
couple.
classic. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? But
You
I knew
video
it was
it?
gonna rain, and we literally had 99% chance of rain. I'm like, I'm taking advantage of this. I mean, I put down liquid airification. I put down some of the Simple On Solutions C-Hume. I drilled, and I'm like, fuck, I
Take
gotta
advantage,
get,
man.
Gotta get
Yeah.
something down because I haven't. I mean, honestly, I'm so far behind. I haven't put a lot of stuff down this year just because it's one of those things where it's been 92, 95 degrees, and it's just like I don't want to put anything down.
Yep.
I know I don't have 100% coverage with my sprinklers. I'm already trying to freaking just hold on to the lawn with the sprinklers I'm running and stuff. It's just so I'm like I said, I'm way behind on what I've put down. So hopefully I see some rain in the forecast this weekend too. So I'm temps are low, rain in the forecast. I mean,
It felt chilly today, to be honest. Man, all the AC was still going at the office and it was kicking ass because it wasn't that hot out. So yeah, it felt a little chilly getting outside, heading home too. Like, we're used to being in the 90s, and when it gets down to like 75, you're like, oh crap, I need a
we turned
sweater
our
or
air
something.
off and opened our windows and everything because it was like at night it's getting down like low 60s at night. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Nice.
no, I'll definitely take it. It's way better than 90s and 100s and all that.
So is your focus then going to be that? Is that going to be your main focus, or what else are you going to do? Work anything in the front yard? You doing any overseeding or anything else
Kill
you're
it? Or
planning?
like the weeds? Are you going to kill the weeds? Like you going to round up it? Or are you going to like?
Yeah.
there's not
spray 'em?
not that many. So I hand pulled what was there. I have a little tank that's in the garage of just some stuff I sprayed. I'll probably spray those here probably this week sometime after work and just kind of let those die off with it being cool. That's the other thing. With it being in the 90s, like I haven't sprayed anything for weeds. So
Yeah.
I have some summer weeds popping up, or and it's just like I haven't been able to do anything with it because I did spray my stairs and everything, and it freaking nuked it. So it's like, I mean, I'm glad it did because it was like the one area that I was happy that it nuked it because I don't like trimming my stairs, but it looks good. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't go around my yard and spray because I would have had a shit show if I would have actually done that. So, but no, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna hand pick those, and then I'll probably spray a little bit, and then probably here maybe this weekend, depending on everything, I might actually start kind of mowing it low. And what I'll probably do is, I at this point I don't plan on doing the whole yard, but I'm probably gonna take, let's just say here's the swing set. I might go like this big, so it's not like, oh, you can see a square where it's completely different. I'm gonna try and blend it off of it. But yeah, I'm gonna start probably mowing that a little bit lower. So I'll mow the yard, then drop it down and maybe just mow that area. I do know one thing, that my stripes, so like on the side of the house, I got here and I've always came then from this way and came here and then like met in the middle and like went through the swing set.
Yeah.
Well, and I knew it wasn't a perfect match, but then now it's gone. So I started mowing and I got to the middle and I'm like, oh shit, like these are this way and these are like, so it's like as I got there, I'm like, oh, they're straight, but they're not perpendicular. Let's put it that way. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to
You can start from one side and just go all the way now.
Yeah,
Try to keep it
so-
straight the whole way. Yeah.
So like next spring or whatever, I'll probably have to get like where my property is. I'll have to kind of re-square up the property because I think I just at one point I kind of got off on the start of it, because then I go up to my house and it's just like you never know because it looks straight.
Sure.
But yeah, so I'll have to kind of straighten that out for a little bit. But yeah, I kind of had two straight right in the middle like this, and I had like this, and I was like, huh. That didn't work out too well.
I think that's one of those things where if it's like, that they're, because you were out there mowing, it's for you can see it, but when you look at like a photo, like I would have never have known that was something you dealt with in your backyard. Maybe if I looked at one of your drone shots real close for a while, maybe, but
can't even
really,
see
yeah, because I've never noticed that about you. So it's like something like it's that way, but nobody else can tell.
Yeah, you can't tell. I mean, I just
it looks good.
Yeah, so we'll just have to square it up a little bit, but
something a little different for you.
Yeah. So, but as far as, I mean, I got a few spots. So, I know you guys saw this spring. I did that concrete landscaping, and where the foot traffic was, and I think they sprayed off some of their tools, and they did something, and there's some dead spots like around that, and obviously all the traffic there. So there's some compaction. So I need to kind of address that. What I'll probably do is I'll probably hit that with I'm definitely going to aerate. So I'll probably dethatch and I'll probably aerate, but not as heavy as I did in the past when I was going to overseed, because when I was overseeding, we'd run over that thing 8 times with the aerator. You know what I mean? So I'll probably just run over it like twice. That's probably what I'll do. But no, I mean, right now, like I said, the stuff that's green is green. It looks phenomenal right now. It's just everything else has got to come back.
All right. Zach, what do you got planned? What are you planning on, buddy?
Pretty boring, actually. Pretty boring plans here.
Really? Your lawn's just so sexy. There's nothing
I'm
to do.
planning on just killing weeds and feeding it all around. And actually, it feels so good because it feels like, I don't got to fuck with hoses. I don't got to mess around with moving around sprinklers, getting my irrigation right, which is always just a pain to me. I hate that's the worst thing about lawn care is moving around a hose, I feel like. But so yeah, I'm planning on I like Nate was saying, it's been really hot. I haven't got a chance to spray weeds. I do have some weeds popping up in my backyard, different areas. Nothing that I need to like blanket even spray, but just some spot sprays. But I just plan on I might aerate a little bit. I'm definitely gonna pull my dethatcher through it, my pull behind dethatcher. Just kind of get some of that dead debris out. I did break the 1/3 rule a couple times this year. So, and yeah, I plan on just feeding and mowing stripes and killing weeds all fall. See how long I can push it.
Nice.
I'll say one thing I just did. I didn't take any pictures. I didn't even talk about it or post anything about it, but I bought new blades for my Time Master, and I bought the Time Master in like 2017. This is the first time I've bought new blades. Obviously I've sharpened them, but even like in the beginning of my lawn care journey, like I never sharpened my blades, whereas like now I try and do it. I only do it a couple times a year just because I don't really have anything, and just kind of every time I seem to do it, I feel like I jack it up. So, but anyway, so I bought some new ones, and I took a file and just kind of, lightly did it and got them. They're definitely way sharper, but my first couple mows with it, I can definitely tell, it's a lot cleaner cut. And
that's nice.
I also think that, just obviously being in the heat of summer and everything, and now I got this better cut. I think it's actually helping the grass kind of come around. So, to anyone that, in my opinion, it definitely does help. And I'm seeing it here where I think that the lawn is responding to a cleaner cut right now even with the heat and everything as well. So that's before the rain. But now with the rain and the cleaner cut, today it looks really good.
Are they just new, like whatever
Toro.
Manufactured Toro blades? Yeah.
Yep, just the
That's
regular
good.
Toro
Nice.
ones. And like I said, just did a quick sharpen on them. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Like I said, I'll run them here for probably a couple weeks, and I'll kind of do it again, and hopefully do that every couple weeks this fall. But anyways, just want to throw that out there. Like I said, I never post anything about it.
Yeah.
It was just something I did. So
I have on the normal blade that comes with the super recycler. It comes with another blade. I guess it's more of a performance one. I haven't tried that one yet. I've just been doing their normal one that was already attached to it. It's a pretty clean cut so far. I will say that the lawn is not super thick. It's not super wet. I'm not like pushing it to the max, but so far it seems like a nice clean cut, and it mulches really well, which I like so far. But certainly when the grass is, post overseeding or when you get that spring flush, that'll be like the real test of does it get bogged down, so I'm looking forward to that, but I want to use the blades that came with it to kind of get a real sense of like, how is it before I tried some, Oregon Gator blade or something like that, Olee, what are you working on this fall, man? How are you doing, buddy? You gonna blend in those
you get the
former
army
rock
worms
spots?
hit you yet?
Say what?
Army worms hit you?
No, we ain't got to worry about that this year. Right
Nice.
now,
All right.
right now, just trying to make it through August as far as gray leaf spot. That's been a little bit of a butthole. And I've got a couple places, probably like a 2-foot circle that's going to have to be seeded. But far as to August, this is probably the farthest I've made it. Like my goal is to make it through an entire season with good looking turf, and this is probably the farthest I made it. Last year, I thought I had it whipped and we went to the beach for a week, come home to the army worms. And this year, no worry about critters, but it's just been hot and dry. I mean,
Yeah.
every time it does rain here, we might get a tenth or two, I don't know what happened to those days where it rains and you're like, damn, would it stop raining, please? Like I miss the days when you go to bed and it's raining, you get up the next day and it's raining. We hadn't had stuff like that in a long time. We get a little bit of a shower or whatever, and you don't think about it. A couple of weeks ago, we got 3/8 of an inch and it come down pretty good. Like I put out my fungicide and it come down pretty good. And I was already soaking wet. So I went out and dug up a tree that was dead. And once I knocked the top of the dirt off, like an inch of it, bone dry. So it takes a good bit of rain to actually get to the root zone. So,
Yeah.
and we haven't had that. So, but anyway, just fighting through that. And so this year won't probably, if everything stays like it is right now, it won't be like a heavy overseed. It'd be more like just touching up some places. So,
Yeah, about the
Do you do anything with your trees? Sorry,
Oh,
Zach.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'll say, do you do anything like special with your trees, like with the buckets or like watering them wise, or you just?
I have not, and I lost another one, and to me, it's my fault because of water.
Yeah.
And I really thought, these trees were planted in 2016. And when I bought every one of them for like $4 a piece, and they were about a foot tall, and I planted, all 88 of them. And what's sickening is, some of them are probably 20 feet tall, and they're beautiful. I love them. They're green giant Lethusias. And I've lost here, yonder, and there, like just lose one or lose two, it turn gold, fade away. But it's my fault because I didn't really think about watering them, because I figured once they get, so high and a couple years old, I'm like, well, it's got a good enough root zone. It's got enough structure. I don't need to worry about it. Well,
Still pretty young.
you don't get
tree
rain
lives.
40, 50
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my
That
neighbors
sucks.
got a handful of big trees, and tree roots are stingy.
Yeah.
They take
pull.
moisture from the turf, moisture from everything. So
I was
they
gonna talk about that same thing. Like I've noticed, like, like I have a tree on the side of my yard, and where that's at, like all around it is just a huge like dry spot.
Mhm.
So, and it's very noticeable that it's taking moisture out of the lawn. So there's been a couple days, about once a week, I'll take and just turn the hose on, just set it right at the base and let it run for like 15 minutes and just kind of try and soak that tree. And you can actually tell with the leaves, they're almost like wilting. And then later that next day they've opened up. So you can definitely tell it's
Makes a
sucking water
difference.
and it's dry. Like I said, we haven't got any rain, so it's pulling water from wherever it can, but it's definitely
a lot of
noticeable.
people talk about growing grass in the shade, and I think it's more than growing it in the shade. It's more about just growing it under the tree canopy, because of the root zone of the tree is so stingy. It'll just
for sure.
suck the moisture out of the ground. But
Yeah, I have 5 green giants, and then I have 10 emerald greens, which is kind of like in the same family. And
they're smaller though, right?
Yeah, they're smaller. They're slower growers. Showers, not growers. But they I watered them a few times this summer actually. I had Pharm Dad, would you freeze? Oh,
Yeah,
he's muted
that's a guy on my iPad.
now. I'd be watering my garden. I have like one of those sprinklers, those, what do you call them? I can't think of the name, but I'd hit my trees with it and it would come back and hit my garden. And then sometimes I'd just sit out there with the hose and I'd run it on the light setting and water my green giants. But you're right though. When they're looking good, they look good. I love them.
I like mine, and I chose them over the Leland cypress because they're bad about the bagworms. And
I got bagworms on my emerald greens this year, but I saved it. I went out there with my daughter and my wife, and we just started picking them and throwing in soapy bucket. And yeah, it came back. But like, I mean, from what I read, I'm really lucky that I caught it because I heard they could just wipe them out like boom.
yeah. Yeah. And that's the reason I went with the green giant Lethusias.
But they didn't have any on them. The green giants had 0 on them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're supposed to be a lot tougher. Mine's got a doggone bald face hornet nest in it that I got to take care of. It's about it's bigger than a basketball.
Damn.
So I got to get after it and get it sprayed and do something there.
Olee, I want to see you go live and take a baseball bat and whack that thing.
And I got a GoPro mount on the sprayer one, and I brought home my Harley helmet, and I'm gonna get a big thick jacket and put on a Harley helmet and some gloves, and we're gonna
Just
take the
pick it up,
GoPro.
pick it up and drop like a pumpkin.
No, I'm just gonna walk down there and stick it in the hole and soak them.
No, you need to get the GoPro inside that sucker. That'd be sweet.
I don't know if I can do that or not, but the crazy thing is I can't believe I never got stung because a mow right by the trees, a weed eat right by the trees, a ride of permagreen right by the trees. Never nothing. Never even noticed it. And just happened to be walking through the yard late at night, watering the trees and with the wobblers. And
Wobblehead.
I thought there was an owl. I thought an owl was sitting in the tree. So I went and got a piece of PVC pipe and was going to poke him. Wasn't an owl.
They start coming
Yeah,
after
I
you. Did you take off running or what?
I ran. You're dang right I ran. But luckily it was at night. So, they're pretty
They're not as
chill at
aggressive.
night.
Yeah.
But the last 2 times I've mowed, I've went by there super fast. I've hauled butt by
Get out
that
of there.
spot.
So Bill, what the hell are you
Yeah.
doing in this new place? You got a brand new place. You've
Yeah.
done a little bit to it, but what's your plans? Are you going full out? Or are you just what are you doing?
So I don't want to kill off the grass. It's actually looking pretty good right now. I was going to say
So for people who don't know, tell them what your situation is, where you just moved.
Oh
in
yeah,
with-
so yeah, we moved into a new place. It's a bigger yard. It's established. The house is I think 13 years old, and I don't really know much background on the lawn other than looking at it. I assume it was sod at one point, and over the years, the owners didn't they were really super into lawn care. They fertilized it. I think did some weed control stuff, but it's just been there. So it's looking pretty good. I think it's mostly fescue, and essentially I want to fill it in. It's got a lot of like low spots, bumpy spots. It's got a lot of unevenness to it because it's kind of settled over the years, and they haven't really, they don't bring in topsoil. They're not into it like we are. So I'm thinking I might get 8 yards of topsoil to try to spread all around there and level out as best I can, fill in some of the edges. The turf is kind of sucked back away from the curb and the sidewalk and all that kind of stuff. So I want to kind of fill that in and then come in and do a heavy overseed. So I'm definitely going to be dropping the deck over these next few weeks with the intention of using my Greenworks to kind of dethatch as best I can. And then I got some guys coming out. They'll come and aerate. I kind of priced out trying to rent one and then getting a trailer because I just have a minivan and Corolla. I don't have a truck or anything sexy. So it's way more expensive to try to do it myself, which I was excited to try to do, but financially, like, I just can't justify it. So found a company that's local out here. They're going to come out and aerate it for me, which that'll be great. Be done. And then I'll get the topsoil and do a heavy overseed with like a mixed fescue, a little bit of perennial rye, I think, and then some bluegrass. It's the Black Beauty Ultra mix. I've used that for the past couple of years, so I'm going with it again. I'm hoping doing that it'll stripe a little better. I'm frustrated because I want to get some sexy striping videos, but it's hard because I don't think the grass is the type that stripes really well. It's not those thin, sexy blades. It's more sparse. It's coarser. So I'm hoping to mix in maybe some more, premium blends to help it stripe a little better. But yeah, so that's my plan. Olee, you guys were talking about your trees and stuff, and Nate, you were saying about all the dry spots. I have this big Bradford pear. The grass goes right up to the base of the tree. There's no mulch bed or anything around it, and you can obviously tell that that's sucking all the moisture out because the grass struggles. So I'd like to, maybe dig that out and turn it into a mulch bed, kind of, post it out, something different, and then trying to drive under that thing with the mower or walk behind it. It's so low that I have to duck down, and it's super annoying. So I want to try to trim some of those lower branches as well. But do that when it's dormant or whatever, so I don't stress it out too much. So right now I'm dealing with walking under the thing and ducking my head every time. But eventually I'd like to have those out of there and then mulch bed around it. So yeah, those are my plans, man. I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous about my back, all that shoveling and raking and everything else. So it's a lot more square footage than I've had in the past. But I think it'll be fun. A lot of work, but it'll be fun.
Did you have topsoil priced? Like how much is 8 yards? You think
right now the same folks I went with last year, they're still charged. At least their website advertises $35 a yard. So that's what I paid last year. Yep, screen topsoil. They also have like topsoil compost mix, and I think that's a little bit more, but I don't think I think maybe it's 45. It's a little bit more, but $35 a yard for screen topsoil, and then I think it's a $70 delivery fee.
You gonna mix any sand in it with it? Like do like a?
I don't think so yet. No, I don't think so yet. I mean, if I do, maybe down the road. I just really want to put in some good, healthy dirt, and use that to spread it around. And maybe down the road, if I get really into wanting to level it out and anything, like that, maybe. But for now, I just want to kind of make the mow a little bit more enjoyable and fill in those low spots and the edges so that it's not so bumpy and frustrating when I cut the grass.
Cool. Well,
so yeah. I was gonna say like fall kind of renovation, fall kind of the process. I guess in general, I think we should kind of talk through that. Because there's a lot of questions. Sure. There was a lot of questions kind of today. I was seeing a lot of people just kind of talking about like, should I do this? Should I do that? I guess what do you guys think about just kind of talking through maybe generally speaking, very vague, not specific, but like a general renovation, kind of the process of renovation. What you guys think? I mean, that'd be a good.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I think the first thing to think about is are you planning on killing off your current lawn, starting fresh, or are you trying to just work with that as a base and then improve on it, but doing all the things like you would on a reno? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean that's just, I mean, honestly though, like you got to start thinking back to spring, because you got to remember what you did for pre-emergent. If you put down like a split application, depending on when that second application was and how far out from that you are, that's going to make a determination of what you can do. What pre-emergent you used, in the spring. So there's some deciding factors that you may be overthinking, and that's kind of in my opinion, one of the first things you gotta think about. So if you did a split app in the spring, and let's say you got into even like mid-May, a lot of the seed or a lot of the pre-emergent's going to say 6 months. You could probably get a little bit less than that. I mean, maybe 5 months or whatever, but I think if I remember right, I think it's 6 months. You guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to aerate that thing though and beat it up, you got no worries really. Anyways. I mean,
yeah.
you're going to be breaking that barrier, but
Yeah, I do.
I mean, that's
I
a
do the
good point though. If
prodiamine
you had a
in May,
small,
but
if you had like a small growing season in certain spots, like I don't know, like
Minnesota, probably.
yeah, like
the higher
areas
north
like
you
that.
go. But anyway, so yeah, so I mean, you got to think that's one thing you got to consider. What you use in the spring, what that like Zach said, if you use a pre-emergent, and like I said, and it'll say on the back of the bag, it'll say 6 months before you should overseed. But kind of look at that, and then you can kind of look at your timeline off of that. But also the timeline you got to look at is when is your first frost, and then what seed are you using? If you're
yeah,
using
that
a
makes a
Kentucky
difference.
Blue versus a rye, that's going to change your timeline as well. One thing that I've been trying to do it here, and I'm not talking about it really because I haven't pinned anything down, but I've been trying to work with our local high school to get the softball field and the baseball field overseeded. It just seems like there's not a good window when they're not playing on it in the fall and when we can do everything, but we're really trying to get those fields overseeded this fall so we can do it. That's the whole process. But
They don't do it. They don't do it on a regular basis.
no, it's one of those things where it's kind of budget and all that. The softball coach, I mean, we text back and forth, and she wants that yard to look like Fenway Park.
Sure.
But it's just one of those things where, and I'm like, well, you tell me where there's a 3-week window between now and basically mid-September, and we'll do it. You know what I mean? I said, but timing, you can't call me November 1st and say, hey, let's throw some Kentucky Blue down, because it's not, it's not. And that's what happened last year. It was literally like,
it was too late.
I think it was like middle of October, and they called and said, okay, we're ready now. And I'm like, yeah, not happening. Like, I'm not throwing 365 SS down at that cost and probably going to waste it all.
Like if they make it to the
What'd you do with all
playoffs,
that
we're not
seed?
overseeding.
What'd you do with all that seed you got?
I still got it. Yeah, I still got it.
It's
So,
all
but
over.
yeah,
It's all over his backyard now.
no, I have a fair amount for that project, and like I said, we're trying to coordinate. We've been texting, we've been emailing back and forth, trying to line it all up for. I mean, we got to get going on it here within the next couple of weeks. I mean, generally speaking, in the Midwest, Labor Day is kind of that go time. But you can be a couple weeks ahead of it. You could probably be a week or two after it and still be okay. But I mean, I think if you get here, if you get to mid-September, I mean, you're basically pushing it if you're doing Kentucky Blue. If you're doing rye, you're perfectly fine. But if you're going to do Kentucky Blue, then you're going to be. It all depends on the fall. I mean, if you get your first snowstorm in middle of November, you might be screwed. I mean, there's been years where mid-December, late December, I'm still mowing, so it all depends. But
yeah, 2 years ago, that's what it was like.
Yep. So, but for the most part, a lot of it starts with planning. What your timeline looks like, counting back from frost. Like I said, if you're going to do Kentucky Blue, you look at your first frost. You can look up farmers' almanacs and all that stuff online. Get your average first frost or first freeze, and then work yourself back. Then once you kind of have that timeline, that general idea, look at the weather, stuff like that, and kind of plan it out. But the process I've done over the last couple of years, because I've done kind of the overseeding, the renovation overseed the last couple of years. And I usually start with, a week or so before. I'll mow 2 or 3 times and I'll drop it down. I honestly should probably go lower when I mow, but I don't know. I mean, even I get to the point where I'm just not comfortable. I'm looking at it going, oh man, I messed up. You know what I mean? But everyone else would probably tell you to go even lower. But like I said, I don't scalp it, but it feels uncomfortable when I mow it as low as I go. I consistently mow around 3.5 in the fall and the spring. I get it down to about 2 3/4 maybe. So I probably take it down to about, maybe 1 3/4 to 2, somewhere in there, but not any lower. If you can go lower, if you can still, not scalp it, not get in the crown, do it. Obviously, because that's less resistance of your seed and all that stuff. But start mowing it down. And then I highly recommend dethatching either way, if you're going to overseed or not. I think a fall dethatch is great for the breathing and all that stuff of the lawn. Then once you dethatch, aerate. aerate the lawn, throw your overseed down. After that, if you're gonna, I like the waiting about a week to throw your starter fertilizer down. So do your watering, but about a week later, throw your starter fertilizer down. Last
agree.
year I did use the starter fertilizer, Scott's starter fertilizer with the tenacity in it. I still got a couple bags of that from when we got it clearanced out at Lowe's like a couple years ago. You know, when it was like $6 a bag. Now it's like $60 a bag or whatever it is. So I still have 2 bags.
So why do you wait a week? Are you concerned about the existing grass kind of getting a boost and affecting the baby grass?
Yeah, because I mean your existing grass is already starting out, you know, essentially 2 inches. So then if you just start pounding it with water, I mean it already outgrows it. You know what I mean? And so by the time you're watering it and then you throw your fertilizer on there, because you want to wait as long as you can to mow. So it kind of helps out a little bit. That's my personal preference. Honestly.
No, I think that makes sense. You know, you don't want to disadvantage the baby grass in any way.
I've done it before where the day I put the seed down, I put the starter fertilizer down. I've done it where I've waited a week. I mean, I'm the type that it's one of those things where it's like, they both work. There's no really right or wrong answer. I'm sure you could get on another podcast, another show, and they could tell you 20 reasons why you should or shouldn't. That's not my style. I don't care really. I just know that it'll work. And at the end of the day, you're going to have grass, you know, a month later. So to each their own, whichever way you want to do it, it's going to work. You know what I mean? So whatever works for you. But I do think waiting a little bit, maybe a week, 10 days, a week, 5 days, whatever it is, and then put it down. Like I said, just because the existing grass doesn't grow as much. And then it shades out.
Just the risk you have is stepping on the baby grass when you're fertilizing it. But I agree with you though. I took that route last year and it seemed to work out really well for me. But I mean, as soon as I put that starter fert down though, I mean that shit pops like in a couple of days versus but yeah, I agree with you. I feel like that, you know, especially depending on your soil test too. Like, I mean, if it's like your first time in the lawn, first year in the lawn, and you haven't put much down, you may want to put down a starter fert when you first seed, in my opinion. But like, if you're consistent on your soil test, you've been keeping up with what you need, you may not need much when you're going to seed. So
true. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say a lot of it probably too depends on the, you know, how healthy your turf is to begin with, right? You know, if you have real thin kind of sparse turf, it may not be as important, but yeah, you don't want to, you know, you're spending all this money on seed and you want it to do well. So I look at that, like, that's why I dethatch and I aerate every time I overseed if I can. One year I didn't get to aerate just because of scheduling and it just didn't work out, but you know, you want to set yourself up for success. And those are like one-time expenses that improve your odds of you know, higher yield of your germination, but they also, you know, they're good for the turf in the long run too. So it's like a win-win, you know. So just like that, you know, you want to cut the grass low, do everything you can to give you the best chance of success with that seed.
Well, and like I like to get essentially the tenacity. I like to get that in there seeding to help. I mean, even the seed that I've used the last couple of years is 0% weed seed, but I still like to get it in there to prevent anything. So for me, it's a one-step process to use the fertilizer and the preventative at one time. So that's probably another reason why I use the starter fertilizer versus just like a regular fertilizer, just because like I said, I got it for a hell of a deal. So I have it. And it's one of those things where, you know, it's a good product, so I might as well just use it. So
nice.
So hey, something before we get into, Olee, I got a question for you real quick. So with you not overseeding or doing a big project, are you planning on putting it down a pre-emergent for POA in the spring?
Yeah.
Or henbit, or whatever, you know. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I've never really seen POA until this spring. I did see some spots in my front yard, and that's where I like, you know, triple penetration aerated it like this past spring or past fall. So like, and I did see some POA spots in the spring. So I already made my decision. I'm not going to overseed, but I am going to put down pre-emergent over my whole acre. And I just was curious if you were going to do that. And then like, that is also a good option if you are not going to overseed to put down a pre-emergent, because that is a pre-emergent for POA. you know, it's debatable
It's better
if
than
how,
nothing,
how
you know,
effective
better
it's going
than
to be.
nothing.
It could be a little bit. Yeah, it may not be 100% effective, but if you had a big POA problem, that could be beneficial. And then henbit and a couple other weeds too.
Yeah. In all honesty, it's too soon to tell you for 100%. I'm not going to overseed because we still have all of September. I mean, it could get hotter than hell. And
True. Your
we
climate.
might-
Yeah, you could seed,
Yeah.
and you seeded last year, like in November.
Well, one year, normally in October, but one year I did seed in November because we just kept having hurricanes or something. Something kept messing me up, and I had to keep pushing it back. And that was the scariest year ever because I went out and put down. That must have been like 2019 or something because this place was bare. It was bare. It was going from dirt to seed because I'd killed off a bunch of stuff. And it took 19 days to see germination. And normally I see germination in 5 to 7. And I was starting to get sick. You know, you're looking at 12 to 13 bags of grass seed and you don't see anything popping. I was getting worried. But as far as that, yeah, I plan on doing something as far as POA. I've got a bunch of the ethofumicate on hand. I want to do that and hopefully cut down the POA. And a lot of times you'll see a good bit of POA in the spring if you had a real wet winter or a real warm winter, you know, more of it germinates.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, well, you know, Nate said something about weed seed. I mean, that's good to buy good, clean seed. But when you're out there aerating, slit seeding, you're tearing up the soil, there's tons of weeds seed laying in the ground. You know, there's just tons of stuff there. And when you stir it up, you're just asking for other stuff to germinate because you're giving it daylight.
Yeah, and I noticed that this past year after like, you know, the past 3-4 years really getting after it. Last fall, I hammered my front yard. Like, I mean, I might have been quadruple pass. It was almost down to dirt. But then in the spring, I did have I had some little POA patches and some weird stuff popping up that I've never seen before. And I think it was because I worked that dirt up so much, but it still ended up being okay. I mean, it was like, you know, a couple week phase, but
Mm-hmm.
you guys want to get into the lawn of the week? What we got going on this week?
Yeah.
Then after lawn of the week, there's one I want to hit on, like the watering with new seed
Yeah.
and renovation.
We got to talk about next week too, what we got going on next week.
But that's something that you definitely got to drastically change from your normal setup. So
Got to keep
Bill?
it.
Yeah. So hey, so what is lawn of the week? Lawn of the week is a hashtag KOTG lawn of the week that we kind of started with everybody's support, where you take your photos of your sexy lawns or a video, a reel, what have you. You use that hashtag, and we kind of keep an eye on it. We try to pick out some of the sexiest posts, so we debate it, and then we pick the best one of the week, and that's the KOTG lawn of the week. You get a shout out on our Instagram page, and thanks to John Pocock over at ProPete. The winner also gets their choice of whatever bag of ProPete they have on Home Depot. They'll ship it out to you as the winner.
Is the full sol part of that now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the fossil or full
Fossil. That's right.
Fossil.
What'd you call
Like
it?
a
I thought you said
dinosaur.
pole saw.
Full sol.
I thought you said, yeah, they said pole saw. I'm like, what are you
No.
talking
You got
about?
a pole saw?
We're giving away a
Pole
pole
Trim
saw?
that
saw.
tree with a pole saw?
Fossil.
So we had
Fossil.
we had John on again a couple weeks back, and now we've added fossil to it too. So you get the whole gamut. You know, that's pretty exciting. So so this week we've had a few 2-time winners, but this week we got another one. This guy's been looking hot and sexy for a while now, but behind the stripe is our newest 2-time KOTG Lawn of the Week champion. It's looking good.
Hit it from behind twice.
You got a picture of his backyard too, or just that one?
Nope, I just hit it from the front, from behind.
I figured since
He's
you're
a gentleman.
backyard, I figured since you're backyard all day, you'd have his backyard. But yeah,
You
And
know,
that's some of that main event working over there.
yeah, it looks good. Looks real nice.
especially that little slope.
Yeah.
That'd be the
could
perfect
do like
place for a flag. He needs to do a
Yeah,
flag like
blowing
you
in the
do a
wind,
ripple.
man. Yeah, that looked
That'd
good.
be a ripple.
Mhm.
Man, that'd be a good looking flag.
I was just thinking that would look cool.
If you
Congrats,
haven't
brother.
seen- if you don't know who Behind the Stripe is, check out episode. I don't know, but they were on. They were on as the watch party. And,
Yeah.
it was a pretty cool episode. Him and his sister and some of their other family they watch, and they had some KOTG watch party shirts. It was pretty cool.
That was fun. Yeah, that looks good,
Yeah.
man.
Looks
See, I
good.
want to get. Yeah, I need to get some better grass in my yard. This looks so good. Good contrast.
His
Well,
color looks great.
Before we get
Mhm.
into the watering, Olee, you want to talk about what we got going on next week
Yes, sir.
and what is involved if you are in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Well, forefathers, most people know of forefathers or shop for forefathers because of the Turf Dad shirt, the one with the push mower and the stripes.
Mm.
It's
If you
super popular.
If you haven't seen it, check out my reel I just posted today.
Oh, there
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
like
shared- I
it.
shared it
Comment,
this morning.
please.
Anyway,
I'm going to right now. Get that money.
Ching. But anyway, they're going to be on here next Thursday. And if you're in the live chat, he is offering a 25% discount. So anybody that's wanted one of those shirts, that'd be the perfect time to pick up one, because I don't see anywhere that you'll get better than a 15% discount. So
Mhm.
25% is pretty heavy. You have to be in the live chat next week.
They're
You
good
know-
shirts too, man. They're quality
Oh,
material.
there's
The
gonna be-
collars are nice and
It's the
starchy.
what? It's the founder, and there's two people coming on next week. It's the founder and
Is it Nick?
somebody.
Something.
There was two guys coming on next week, but they're just offering that discount. We don't make anything from that.
Yeah.
No.
It's nothing to do with us. That's just something that they're doing for fun. They thought it was cool. So they'll run it during the duration of the live chat, and you'll have 25% off. I don't even know the code or anything. It's just through them. So
I guess it's going to be, it was his idea. So it'll be next week when we go live. I guess he'll start telling you the code then. For
That's
whoever's
cool. Yeah.
watching.
Then we can just kind
Start
of
getting the code.
remind folks. Yeah.
And I'm sure
Sweet.
we can twist at least one giveaway out of them. He hasn't said
Oh.
anything, but I'm sure that's possible.
Some of those donuts.
I like the donut one. I like the other one is it's got check engine lights and stuff all over it. And I like it. It's a mechanic dad or something.
Yeah.
And then
I like-
then they also have the is it called turf taco or
Yeah,
Taco
tacos
turf?
and avocado or whatever it is. That one's
Yeah.
sweet.
taco
Yeah.
turf.
I can't remember which one it is.
That would be like an Olee special, man. They should do that one. Get the mower and the taco, and yeah, call it the Olee
Eat
special.
more
Tacos and
tacos.
turf. Yeah, dude.
Tacos
sell.
and stripe.
I'd buy one.
I don't want to spoil nothing, but we do have some pretty sweet episodes coming up 2 weeks after that. So we got some things lined up.
It's
I'm
good.
excited.
It's gonna be good.
Got some things that didn't happen this year, which sucks because they would have been awesome. We're still working on them, but we got some other things that are pretty sweet stuff. So, like Zach said, we got some good stuff for you guys.
Yeah, I'm feeling good this next month.
Yep.
So
We need to get Bush Light on. That's what we need. Like
Bush Light, yeah.
they need to come on and just hang out.
Giveaway cases.
Yeah.
Give away neon signs, neon Bush Light signs. I mean,
Mhm.
that would be sweet. But
You keep working on them, Nate.
I got to
You'll
get
them.
step one is just letting them open my message because that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I am pumped
You're
about
still on
GIE.
set.
Like it's getting close, and I just confirmed that I can get those days off. And I'm pumped.
No, man.
Party house.
That was really fun last year. Like, and now this year that I know what to expect, because I was a little overwhelmed and like
Yeah.
honestly, at the end of it, I was burnt out. But now that like I know, now that I know what to expect, like
Kind
I'm
of
really
what
pumped.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
pumped
like
about it.
to your
excited
point,
for you
like
guys.
the first year is just kind of like what is? I mean, it's huge.
Dude.
You
Yeah,
know,
like
and-
we didn't even see. I feel like I didn't
No.
see a quarter of it.
No, we didn't even see half of it. You know,
Um,
like I mean, remember the whole like end of it where it was drones and everything? We didn't even go like never even watched any of that.
What?
No, we
Like
only
your lawnmower
outside,
drones?
dude. We didn't.
You can get like your license for drones and everything.
We
That's
weren't even
funny. That's
outside
awesome.
that much. I mean, really, like it's yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
It's definitely a social event. You know what I mean? I mean, it's definitely checking things out, but there's a lot of time. It's just kind of social. So, and then like I said, in the evenings, there's a lot going on in the evenings this year with the social gathering.
Dude, Trace
at-
Adkins, that'll be sweet.
Yeah, so Louisville Slugger, Tuesday night, Louisville Slugger, there's like a kind of a social get together. And there's a 5K Wednesday morning, but not a chance in hell am I doing that. And then Wednesday night, we'll see. Hopefully there's a party or maybe some private parties Wednesday night. We'll see how that goes down. But and then Thursday night, like I said, Trace Adkins is downtown. That'd be
Is it
good.
the same spot where we were last time?
Yeah, that'd be a good time. Ole's
Yeah.
gonna be chugging bush lights with us. It's gonna be great.
Olee was
Only-
tired last time.
Only
Man.
if somebody pays for them. If somebody
Yeah.
pays for them, yes.
You were like,
I
I remember you
gotta
saying,
pay
"I'm going
for
back
'em."
to bed," and then next thing I know, you're drinking a bush light. Like you're like, "I'm going back and going
But
to
that
bed."
guy, what that guy, he started singing like Journey, Keep On Believing or something. And man, they were rocking. And I was like, all right, I can
They
get
were
into this.
rocking, dude. Like,
No, it
I'm
was
a music person.
it was Ole, you want a beer? No, I'm good. And I was like, fuck it. Then I
dude, yeah, no, I remember
You-
Blake. Yeah, Blake
Yeah.
offered to buy him one. Blake was like, "Hey, I'm going to get some beer. I'm gonna get you one. What do you want?" And then you're like, "Nah, I'm good." And then, and the next thing you know, Nate comes up, boom, and then you just took it. And the next thing I know, you took it.
I remember
I
I went
should
up
have been
and
sleeping.
I spent $100. I had $100 bill and I was like, here, give me bush lights. And it was just like,
Oh,
here,
man.
Ole, everyone grab one. It
Enjoy.
was sweet. Anytime there's a live band, tall boys of bush light, that's a recipe for a good night.
Dude, yeah, the live band set it off. Like, dude, I just remember like rocking out,
Yeah.
like especially that one country guy.
Yeah, Granger Smith.
It was like freaking metal with country, dude. It was just like,
Yeah,
it was awesome.
yeah, Granger Smith. You know, yee. Come on now. It was a
Come
good
on
time.
now.
It was a good time. But
What was that? Was that the night before?
I'm trying to think what night. That was Wednesday or
Probably the
Thursday.
night that you came.
No, that was that was the night I think that was the night we were trying to get our sticker. Remember up on the guitar and everything.
Oh, the KOTG sticker. Yeah.
yeah, and that was the night that Still was down there with all the flashing things. They had the big Earl Dibble Jr., who was also Granger Smith. Like that was the big headliner. So yeah, that was good. That was a fun concert.
Well, I used
Yeah,
up all my damn vacation this year, so I don't get to freaking go and hang out with you guys. But I did talk to the wife about next year, so it's
We
just
we
an
need to have a
expensive,
meetup.
vacation-filled year.
I swear you said that a year ago today.
I did, and I was happy wife, happy life. You know, next year
We need to
next
have a
year.
meetup somewhere. Like if
We're
we're
prioritizing it.
next spring, we should just all meet up somewhere. Whatever's the midway.
Vegas.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I drive somewhere, yeah. Yeah, Vegas. Shit.
Hey, let's go to Ole's house.
It's probably cheap flights, but you, man.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting a place? You guys all stay the same place again this year? What are you guys working on? I don't even know.
I don't know. We're talking about it.
I don't know. We're
I'm
figuring
down.
it out.
Whatever we figure out, I'm down. I'll pay my percentage. So
We need to know
I'm
how
gonna
many
look
guys.
seriously for you guys.
we gotta figure out
Or
how
girls.
many people want to actually commit to it and get in. If we get 6-7 people in a house, or if we get 2 or 3, it really doesn't matter.
I'm
we just gotta-
good. I'm packing earplugs, so if I got to sleep with Grizzly Bear and Smooth Talker, I guess I'll have some earplugs.
Brian says he's coming. I believe
Yeah.
Brian's going. So Should be the
Brian can all talk us to sleep, you know.
The one day
that's what we need to do.
He's gonna read us all a bedtime story.
that's how. The one day though, Nate, when we went back to my hotel, and not being
Slept
weird
on the
here,
floor.
but yeah, you were on the floor. But I mean, no, before we went back out, that little like
Nap.
couple hours of just chill time got me rejuvenated to go back out. I needed that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
What did you guys do for like breakfast and stuff when you were there last year? Like what did you guys do in the mornings and stuff before the day got started?
I was at a hotel and I had
crackers
free
and-
breakfast.
Okay.
I had leftover Jimmy John's one morning.
Yeah.
It's such like a bachelor thing to do.
Oh,
Cheese
our fridge,
crackers and cheer wine.
our fridge was Cheerwine, Bush Light, whiskey, and I think that was all it was. I mean, literally, we
Getting
Olee bought some Cheerwine.
egg
I bought some
McMuffins and
Bush
sausage egg McMuffins for
Brent-
breakfast. Hell yeah.
What?
Oh, we found this little like
He's staying in a campground that literally a parking lot a few blocks away from the convention. What the fuck? Hopefully it's not a
That's
sketchy
awesome.
place.
It's Tent City.
That sounds pretty interesting, though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, shit. Maybe we don't
Breakfast
make it very
beers,
far
yeah.
from the convention. We'll just go crash there around the bonfire.
There you go. Oh man, you guys are funny.
No, it's gonna be.
All
a good
right, should we
time.
wrap it up, boys?
Yeah, we better save the old watering talk for another episode.
Yeah, we can hit that here.
Oh, we'll hit it. We'll
We
hit
can
it.
hit that wet talk.
We'll definitely hit that wet
Oh
talk.
man.
So, all right, let's wrap her up. If you guys got questions about, fall plans, I mean, like I said, timing right now is everything. If you haven't bought your grass seed, if you're not planning everything out right now, I would say you're behind. You need to get your ass going. So, get your grass seed bought, get your calendar, get your planning, get everything rolling, pick a date, and get going because depending on what you're planning, now's go time. So,
Man,
all right.
Winfield is coming out with a 5-way grass seed
5-way.
blend. 5-way.
Ooh,
All Mountain View cultivars. And it's called the Artemis.
Artemis.
I just got a thing with what it's going to be. It's going to be, I'll tell you right quick.
Yeah.
It's
What's in
going to
it?
be 5 different cultivars from Mountain View. It's their top 5: Titanium, Raptor, Dynamite, Spider, and Avenger 3.
Hmm.
Sounds like a Marvel movie or something.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
know?
say, where's Black Panther, man? Come on. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Wow.
Yep. Artemis, the ultimate tall fescue blend.
That can't be
Sweet.
cheap.
Wicked.
It'll be good stuff.
Yes, sir. All right. Well,
All right. Well, we'll
All
see you guys next week with Forefathers.
Yes, sir. All right.